We are on the air, Pops. What time is it?
It's glorious Chomp time.
It is glorious Chomp time. Welcome to the show, one. Welcome all. This is the Chomp Time Podcast. I am Mike. That is Pops. This is episode 27. Pops, I have a simple title for episode 27.
I'm ready.
Chomp Time Podcast episode 27 is simply called We Comin'.
I like it.
We coming, boys. We are definitely trending up. We will be discussing the Ole Miss Florida game that took place in the Swamp a couple days ago. A huge 24-17 victory by our Gators. We'll probably be talking a little bit about Kiffin and Napier along the way. We are going to end the episode, Pops, with three things. Number one.
Yeah.
I have a fantasy football question for you, not about our team, which is way out of it, but about my team that is still in it.
Mine too.
We will go over a few conspiracies, see your take on a few conspiracies.
Okay.
And finally, to close out the episode, I have a plea to our followers. A simple plea.
All right.
But let's get right into the glorious podcast, which I was excited for the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Ole Miss, Florida, enormous victory. Your thoughts?
Well, you know, it's kind of a culmination of what kind of a year we've had. You know, we had high expectations. You and I both said, without knowing each other, we would be 8-4. 3 games into the season, we kind of looked at each other and said, well, that ain't going to happen. Not only is that going to happen, we might not even get the 4 or 5 victories the way we're looking right now. So from that standpoint of where we were to where we are right now, taking the number 9 team in the country and kind of pushing them aside and dunking on their basket at the end of the game, to me is a culmination of what the season and what college football is all about. I'll make you a quick comparison. And you and I both know we sit and watch football on Saturday, and we watch football all day on Sunday.
We do.
After Saturday's games, and I was staying up late and watching every one of these games. You know, the Auburn game, you name it, I was watching it. The Colorado game. I mean, to me, there is absolutely no comparison between college football and the NFL. The college football is so much more exciting because it's like you never know what these kids are going to do. And these are kids. These are not professionals. These are kids. And for what happened Saturday with our kids was unbelievable. A lot of confidence right now. We can't get too overconfident. You know, we got our number one foe we have to play this coming Saturday. But
yeah,
you know, we could talk about that in the next podcast. But you know, we got to keep level-headed. I will tell you this, and I want to let you go through the stats, but I will say this: our coach, who I think the majority of Gator fans were about ready to get rid of this guy after the 3rd game.
Yeah.
This man, Billy Napier, has had such a calming effect on this football team. He's gotten to a point where he doesn't get up, he doesn't get down. Everything that he does, I think, permeates through the team because his influence on this football team makes them all believers. You know, I watched the song at the end of the game when all the team goes over and sings the Orange and Blue.
Yeah.
You saw DJ and you saw Bob. They were like hands in hands and jumping around and having a good time. And I'm thinking, these are true Gators. And they all kind of got together at the end. I mean, it's such a great spectacle, and you could see the love of the Gator Nation and the love of this Gator team.
Yeah, a few things on what you said there. Saturday's NCAA lineup was outstanding, to say the least. I do believe now, when I first heard of all these teams joining making these mega conferences, I didn't like it. I'm a huge fan of tradition, but there's going to be some crazy division title runs for the
Oh,
next bunch of years,
yeah,
especially with like the Big Ten, the SEC, the ACC. None of them are in divisions anymore, so there's going to be uh, tiebreakers galore, and it was outstanding football. I will say that the NFL to me never disappoints, especially week 1, week 2, week 3 when you're just getting
no,
into but it's a different feel.
correct.
College football is
Yes.
always a different feel. The pageantry, the bands, the kids, the students, the alumni section. So
You know,
yes,
95% of college football players, they're giving everything they got because they're done. There's only 5% of those players that actually go on to the elite level. I mean, there's no minor leagues. This is it. I mean, so they're
right,
giving everything since they've been 7 years old playing football. They've come to the ultimate. This is it. It was like senior day, and you could see the tears coming down. These
yeah,
players thinking, "This is it. Everything I've worked
yeah,
for is right here." You know, and that's why I love college football because they give everything they have. I'm not saying anything bad about the NFL, but it's a good. What you said was right. It's a different kind of a game. It's a different kind
yeah.
of a look.
Yeah, I think as we move forward with the NIL and how those rules evolve, there might already be, I don't know, but
Yeah,
there's probably going to be and possibly now incentives to even make the college players work harder and play harder to get those incentives, knowing that very few of them are going to make it on the next level.
right. I mean,
So,
this weekend's a perfect example. Just like you said about getting into the conference championships, because if you go to the conference championship, you got a shot of getting into the 12 teams. I mean,
right.
every division I've looked at today, there's like you said, tiebreakers all over the place because how are two teams going to get with all the stuff that's going on? It's so damn exciting. It's
Yeah,
really
it
good.
really is. And I think it's going to go down to something like points for or point differential over your common opponents if you ever
Yeah,
played each other. So, yes, 6 teams in the SEC have 2 losses. So the last couple games are going to be huge. I will say a couple things about Napier. You said he was a calming influence for sure. I watched a little bit of his press conference today. Pops, I can't watch his press conferences.
well,
I will. I know we do a Gator podcast, and you want to be fully informed and
yeah,
give the people out there in America everything we've got. But
yeah,
I can't listen. Our press guys ask the dumbest questions,
yeah.
and Billy probably loves it. But yes, Billy does not appear to get too high or too low. The one thing I will say negative, and I'll try and be positive the rest of the way, is this is the last 5 games or so is why you and I thought that they would go 8-4. Is
Yeah.
why I said even with the horrendous gauntlet that we faced, the hardest schedule, most difficult schedule of any team in the last 25 years, why I said there's a chance we could go 9-3, but I'm comfortable saying we're 8-4 is what I'm seeing now. So why weren't we ready at the beginning of the season? I think a
Well,
lot of that comes to coaching, but he has steadied the ship. His team plays, this team especially plays awfully hard
yeah,
for him, for each other.
yeah,
I don't know if I've ever been more proud of a Gator team than I am right now, given what we watched after game 3 of Texas A&M, where I was convinced it would be tough for us to win one SEC game.
yeah, yeah.
I thought we would have a record like Florida State, which we'll talk about later in the
Well,
week.
the other thing is that the schedule, and everybody's in the country has talked about our schedule. It is what it is.
Yeah,
We've played so many ranked teams, even they stay ranked all the way to the end. I mean,
yeah,
both LSU and Ole Miss were both ranked before we played them each separately. But the thing is, the other part is we've had so many friggin' injuries. I don't remember a year with the amount of players going down. It has been unbelievable. Our secondary has been decimated, and yet we're playing like freshmen out there playing against some of these top-ranked teams. You and I both were talking Saturday saying, without a doubt, to me, that quarterback, Ole Miss, okay, he's the best quarterback we faced all year. Forget about the last two throws that he did. He was out of desperation. He was out of receivers. He lost his number one receiver. But this guy has got a hell of an arm. He's an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, I'm going to get to the stats here in just a second, but I do want to kind of piggyback on what you said. Our defense lights out. Guy I think it's Caleb Banks is number
Yeah,
88. Apparently, that guy went from being undrafted, coming back senior year to get some stock to possibly second round or something like that. I mean, there's guys on our defensive line and our linebackers, Pyburn, and just guys all over the Tyreek Sapp. They've been
Staff,
playing
Bridges.
Reed,
I mean, all these guys.
Bridges.
All these
Just
guys.
yeah, so proud of everyone on
Yes,
our team, and the defense is
absolutely.
definitely no exception. All right, so quick stats. Ole Miss, Dart, you were just talking about. I think he was right at the top of the list of the quarterbacks we played this year. He was 24 for 41 for 323 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And yeah, those 2 interceptions were his. They were not great decisions or great throws, but it appeared that both his receivers
Stopped.
on those plays stopped. They stopped the routes. It's like a cardinal sin of receivers. Regardless of whether
Yeah,
you look like you're completely covered, you want to
right,
fulfill your routes. So,
right.
not completely his fault. Definitely not great throws, but Bryce Thornton, like, sealed the game for. I didn't even know who this guy was three
That's
weeks
what
ago.
I'm saying.
And Dart also ran 14 times for 71 yards.
He made third down runs that were like,
Yeah.
oh my God, he was making first downs. I was like, come on.
Well, he was trying to avoid the rush the entire game, and this wasn't.
We didn't put a
What
spy on him. We didn't put a
I mean,
spy on him because we decided to put an
pops,
extra defensive back.
pops. 5 6 weeks ago, we couldn't even get close to the quarterback. So
No, no,
I
no.
don't know what the hell happened, but I like it. As
Yeah.
far as the Gators go, Lagway was only 10 for 17 for 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had some miraculous throws. He's got guys hanging on him. He's got arm angles all over the place, finding the open man. This guy is a star now, and he is going to be a star in the
Ooh,
future as well. He will be on Heisman lists, no doubt about it.
yep.
Um, moving into his tenure.
Yeah.
DK had 3 catches for 54 yards, including a huge one in
Big
the
catch.
second half,
Yeah.
where he sprawled out for it. Badger, once again, 5 catches for 87 yards and a touchdown.
And
He's
you know
tough
what's
to stop.
interesting? Do you know what's interesting about that? The two guys you just mentioned,
Yeah,
DK and Badger.
yeah.
Where'd they come from?
Transfers.
And again, you got to give coach credit. And you know what? I mean,
Yes,
we gave him all kinds of garbage for the first parts. He picked the right guys because we were out of receivers.
I think Caleb Banks might have been a transfer as well. Maybe it was Cam Jackson, but I'll look that up. But it's appearing quite obvious that he's hitting more than he's missing on his transfers. Here's another one. Montrell
Oh,
came over from Louisiana. So Montrell had 18 carries for 107 yards and a touchdown. I think against LSU he wasn't fully healthy, but maybe begged to play, and which is why, although Jaden Baugh and Jackson are having outstanding seasons,
but I saw somebody online text saying, "Why are we starting Montreal?" Hey, senior day, buddy. It's senior day. Give him his
and
due.
he's still very good, and
Yes,
he's going to be drafted.
yes.
So he got the majority of the carries and earned them and did well with them.
Hey,
Ball had
how about your call on the backfield? Let's line up. Get the quarterback out of the way. Direct snap to Montreal, and he took it in for the touchdown. You've been calling
yeah.
for that. You've been calling for that all year.
It's great to see just even a touch of creativity. The touchdown to Ball was a running back screen. It wasn't a traditional look
Right.
for a running back screen, but it was a running back screen
I,
nonetheless.
I
It
was
went
looking for a
25
screen.
yards for a touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe Billy Napier isn't watching his own press conferences. He's watching us,
All right.
as he should be, because
Oh,
our
we did it. We
credibility.
did it around end with the wall. Oh my God.
We did. Kiffin. I'm going to talk on Kiffin a little bit.
Yeah.
So, real quickly, total yards. We had 344. Ole Miss had 464. So, Ole Miss definitely moved the ball against us. Even though we're lauding our defense,
Yeah.
we've been playing a lot of bend, don't break,
Right.
which has been a great strategy. It's been a successful strategy given our deficiencies as far as personnel goes.
Yeah.
Ole Miss on third down was 3 of 14. So,
How
we
about
did some
that?
bending, but 3 of 14, we stopped them when we needed to.
Yeah.
And they were 2 of 4 on fourth down. So getting to Kiffin, he was going for it. And I love guys that go for it. And even his play calls, he has this 325 guy that he likes to run, this huge dude. But both times he went around the edge. Why? What are you doing?
Right up the middle.
The only way that I feel like any team could really have a chance of stopping that kind of a guy is if you make a 325-pound guy try and outrun somebody, even if it's off tackle, our guys are going to catch you.
Do you know?
And yeah,
Do you know what I've noticed the last 5, 6 games as the defense has played so much better and so much intensity and all that? We tackle guys. It's
yeah,
like it's not armed guys; they're tackling guys. The hit they put on that big boy 325, okay, twice. They hit him hard and hit him low. You can't hit a guy like that high. You got to hit him low.
yeah, and they're rallying to the ball. And those two hits I specifically remember for one or two guys at his legs, and then a top guy to take out his top
Right,
because a dude that large can just fall forward for a yard.
right.
So that's great, execution and had to be taught as well by the coaches. So let's laud the coaches there.
Mississippi
Very,
only gave up an average, I think, of 79 or 80 yards a game. That's what they
yeah,
averaged.
yeah, uh, against the run, right?
Yeah,
Ole Miss, and we ran for 164 yards.
yeah,
We have a stable of running backs. Our offensive line has been playing tremendous football, moving
absolutely.
people off the ball. I never thought, Pops, I would be this pleased, this elated, being 6-5.
Uh, you got to put everything in perspective with
Yeah,
the number of injuries that we've had, the number of teams that we're playing against. I mean, the ranking teams. I mean, put everything in perspective. We lose our number one quarterback for the year,
yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot, and then we lose the second guy. We lose DJ for a
And
game and a
he's
half. I
he's
mean,
he's
and
playing at like 70% right now.
yeah, I
It's
mean, I was very pleased to see that he was able to run a couple times, and I'm saying, get down, get down, get down.
yeah, yeah. It's
Is he
been
getting up? Is he getting up?
yeah, it's been fantastic. And I can't wait to break down Florida State. I have a feeling I'm going to like looking at their numbers as opposed to our numbers for a change. We'll talk about that later in the
What
week.
was
Let's have,
the spread? Excuse the spread again that for this Ole Miss game.
I think it was, so it was 10 and a half going back and forth. And then it went to 13 from Friday night to Saturday morning, went to 13 because, and I'll end off our review with this, because their star receiver Harris
Yeah,
was questionable for the game. They declared him good to go early in the morning, so that went up three points, and
right.
for good reason, because he only had one catch, and it was
It was a
a
touchdown.
43-yard bomb in between two guys, and he later got hurt, and that was a big key to the game. As
It
well
it
as we
it
played,
was.
Ole Miss receivers dropped a few. They dropped the ball literally and figuratively a couple
Yeah.
times. If Harris had been playing, it would have been closer, and who knows what happened, but we won. That's all that matters.
Let me make one more comment. Um, I watched the end of game day. I don't like watching the whole thing and all that stuff and all that fluff and stuff. I just want to see what
Yeah,
they say. So when I saw us on there and an Ole Miss, all 5 people said, "Nope, Ole Miss." I'll
really.
give I'll give a guy I don't really like, Herb Street, his due because
All
after the
right.
game he
Yes.
posted right away
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, if you can give an award, if they win the last game, give an award to the coach of the year at 7-5." He goes, "What Billy has done with this team is amazing." So I give him his due because he was the only one that said anything.
Yeah. I just it's an incredible turnaround, and
Yeah.
it's been great to watch. So let's end this episode with some fun.
All right.
Number one, I've got a fantasy football question for you.
Yeah.
I am up by 1.7 points. His team is done. I have a kicker. Now I'm going to bench the kicker because there is negative points for a kicker.
Yes.
If you miss an extra point, it's -1. If you miss a field goal from 39 yards or closer in, it's -1.
Yeah.
I'm going to bench the kicker. There's nothing against the rules for that, right? Do you
No.
think I'm less of a man for doing that?
It's no, and here's the thing. The thing is, you're going to want to win. So I played against guys this year in my other league also, where they got guys with the out and they're still playing them. I guess they forgot about it or they're giving up or
Yeah.
whatever. So they get no points, and it just sits there as a no
Yeah.
points.
I looked into it before the season started if I should penalize people for not a full roster. I just thought it's dumb. There's too many buys and there's too many things going
Yeah,
on.
no.
So
If you're up,
I do need points for a tiebreaker at the end, but I need to win more.
well, who's your
So
kicker? Who's your kicker?
well, it's Dicker, I think, on the. I was gonna play him, but then Cooper Kupp caught that last touchdown to bring him within one. I was up by 7. I'm like, well, he's not gonna miss 7 kicks. So I was gonna play him for the points, but now I'm just gonna bench him. Anyway, so Jim's gonna be mad. He's gonna call me a wuss. He's gonna call me every name in the
Don't
book.
care.
That's fine. I get the victory, buddy.
Hey,
Um,
I have in my second team, my second fantasy. I had
yes.
Mr. Barkley last night. How'd he do?
Oh, yeah. I will continue to say that if you were pick 8 through 10, you had a chance to pick Barkley and Derrick Henry with your first 2 picks. Any of you out there that did that, you have to be close to undefeated or maybe 1 or 2
Well,
up.
I'm gonna be 8-4, and I'm in second place with one team in front of me.
Yeah, so you didn't bring that knowledge to our team? I'm not even going to talk about our team. All right, let's go to the second, number 2 of 3 things at the end. Conspiracies. Pops,
Yeah.
the moon. Do you believe that we have actually been on the moon?
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
100%.
100%.
Now, why have we not gone back?
Well,
I have a theory.
um,
1986, the shuttle
yeah, blew
Challenger,
up. Yeah.
that tragedy that happened in
Yeah.
front of all of us because there was a
We're watching it.
teacher.
Yeah.
There was a teacher on board, a huge pub about it,
Yeah.
and it was in all school classrooms, and it doesn't get much pub anymore, probably because of that. I do believe we've been on the moon.
Yeah.
I might even believe that we've been back and we just don't talk about it anymore. All right. So that was conspiracy. What about JFK? Do you think it was Lee Harvey?
I
Do you
think it
think
was.
it was?
I think, and now that we have the new president coming in January, he opened up when he was president in 2016. He opened up most of the JFK files, but he left some.
All
And
right.
he said that this is, well, I guess the CIA and the FBI, whatever, I guess there's still people that were alive in 2016 that had a direct part
All
of
right.
not whatever they think it is. Anyway, I guess everybody's gone now. So he did say that in January he will give everything there is on JFK. And
Well,
personally, I don't think it was one person.
you think it was more than one person?
Yes.
Presidential candidates say quite a few things, Pops. I'm still looking for if tips are not text. We'll see what happens there. I don't with JFK myself. I don't know. I would love to know, but I've even seen now that the Zapruder film might have been the first deep fake. Like, even that might have been. I don't want to get into it,
Hey,
but
listen,
it's
you want no tips. I want no tax on Social Security. So I'm
all
waiting for
right.
that too.
Did Trump promise that?
He did.
Oh, we shall see. Elvis is still alive, yes?
No, no,
Elvis is not alive.
no, no.
All right. So what?
He's 6 feet under.
Final question on number 2. Have you ever had a fried banana and peanut butter sandwich?
I have not. I've had a peanut butter and banana sandwich, but not fried.
Your favorite Elvis song?
Um.
Anytime.
God.
Anytime. Mine is, I have 2. Suspicious Minds.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
an American Trilogy. I think it's called that.
Yes. Where he does. He uses his choir. He uses everybody, and it's.
Sing it, boys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So look that one up. All right. Finally, I have a plea to our thousands of followers, Pops.
Yes.
As you know, I, like a lot of Americans out there, are trying to make ends meet with more than one job. And I've been driving around Uber the last couple of weeks. It's fine. Do I like doing it? Absolutely not. Is it all that much money extra? Not really, but it's something. I don't want to do it. I am not going to turn down anyone out there that has belief in you, belief in me. That you want to invest in us, you're more than welcome to throw some money at us. I will include you in any future profits, people. We need laptops. We need some microphones. There's a few things that we could use. So I'm not going to turn down any investors. But even if you don't do that, if you watch us and you like us, check out the Mad Valid Mike podcast. Season 2 is coming in December. That's a podcast with me. My Pops has been on a few times. I have other co-hosts. It's just to make people laugh. I talk about pop culture. We rip on celebrities, restaurant interactions, all sorts of stuff.
To
But I'm
me,
revving up.
it's our content is phenomenal. We just need some better equipment to get a little bit more out of it.
Yeah, and we're really humble too. So if you like what you're seeing here, check out the Mad Valid Mike podcast. Check out the last few episodes of season 1 where I actually did some great editing and I had the microphones involved and my
Play some
speech is
songs.
a little bit.
Play some songs.
I had some songs involved as well. And if you see anything you like, share it with some friends. Have them subscribe. Subscribe yourself. I'm looking to expand. I'm looking to entertain millions of people out there, Pops, and maybe enjoy some of your golden years with not having to work so much and definitely not have to cart people around 8 hours a day to make not that much money. So that's my plea out there. Help us. Help me. Help you. Help me. Help you. What movie is that from, Pops?
That would be Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire. So you help me get more into this. I will put more smiles on your faces. You'll have a better life. Everything will be good. It'll be all good. And yeah, that's it. I'm Mike. That is Pops. This was a Chomp Time podcast. This was episode 27, which I call We Comin'. Because guess what, Pops? We had another flip. A linebacker flip from USC last night after the game. So we are now at number 24 overall in the rankings, up from 60 2 weeks ago. I believe we'll get into the teens. I think we will hit on some transfers in the portal yet again.
Yep.
I think most of our star studs are going to stay. Things are looking bright, and I can't wait to break down the semen holes coming up in Tallahassee this weekend.
7 o'clock game at night.
Yeah, and we'll see if I'm working or not, and if people get great service from somebody else or average service from me. Anyway, What was I going to say? To close it up, come on, Gators!
Get up and go. Go Gators.
Take care, everybody. Look, 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 look.